Ming, who is leaving the area with his spearhead now wrapped in a cloth. Tang Qi calls out to him, surprised to see him there. Xu Jingming calmly says he is heading home to prepare for the exam, giving no hint of the power he just used. His friend wishes him luck but dismissively tells the group to forget him, pointing to the training room Xu Jingming just left, saying the energy came from there. The group approaches the door. Peeking inside, they see a scene of total devastation. The advanced memory metal target has been completely destroyed, and the reinforced wall behind it is a massive crater of rubble. The entire room is a wreck. Tang Qi, Xiaoya, and the others can only stare in pure shock, unable to comprehend the level of destructive power that was just unleashed in a high school training room. Staring at the destruction, Xiaoya exclaims that even the advanced memory metal was blasted through, which would require an incredibly intense attack. She wonders if any high school student in their city of Jiangcheng is actually that powerful. The brown-haired male friend dismisses the idea. Touching the crater's edge, he says the residual energy feels too violent for a high school student. He theorizes it was a powerful second-order ability user who mistakenly entered the student-level floor. Another friend agrees, adding that even a genius from the provincial capital couldn't do this, making it impossible for such a person to be in their small city. Xiaoya, however, suggests a different theory. She points out that the only person they saw nearby was Xu Jingming and excitedly suggests he might be a hidden super genius. Her friends ridicule the idea, with one asking if she's been reading too many novels. The other points out that Xu Jingming is a known E-class user who would be lucky to have an attack strength of 300. Her friend offers a more logical explanation, suggesting the powerful user simply left through the other corridor. He then turns to Tang Qi, who has been silent, and asks for her opinion. Tang Qi simply answers, "Maybe," stepping forward to inspect the damage. As she runs her hand along the shattered wall, she notices the impact marks look like they were left by a long spear. The image of her cousin with his spear flashes in her mind. A deep suspicion forms, and she silently wonders if Xu Jingming taking the martial arts exam is really him overestimating his abilities. The next day is clear and bright, the day of the martial arts exam. Dozens of buses arrive at a massive, fortified venue, dropping off students armed with various weapons. Among them is Xu Jingming, walking with a calm and confident stride, his spear on his shoulder. The students gather by a tall fence, looking into the exam grounds with a mix of awe and terror. One student complains nervously, recalling that past exams had much weaker beasts. The consensus is that this year's exam will be incredibly difficult. As the students share their fears, an arrogant voice cuts through the crowd. A long-haired young man with a large sword scoffs at their cowardice. He declares that anyone who can't deal with a unicorn rhinoceros is useless, leaving the other students speechless. Nearby, Xu Jingming's best friend, Liu Ji, asks who the arrogant guy is. Xu Jingming identifies him as Zhou Mingyang. Liu Ji explains that Zhou Mingyang is a well-known genius with a B-class ability who has already advanced to become a first-order ability user, a rare feat for a high school student. Xu Jingming looks at the prodigy with a confident smile and a competitive glint in his eye, silently wondering who is stronger. Suddenly, a loud voice calls for the candidate's attention. A stern-looking man with a scar, dressed in a military-style uniform, introduces himself as Wang Haiyang, the chief commander of the exam. He says that before the exam begins, he will review the important precautions. Standing on a military vehicle, Commander Wang Haiyang announces the exam will last 12 hours, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. He gestures to the vast, ruined town that serves as the exam venue. He explains that it is divided into 4 zones: outer, central, inner, and core. Students earn points by killing beasts, with the score increasing based on the beast's rank and strength. The commander's expression turns grave as he gives his final warning. He says the core area is like a bonus question, meant only for the top students. He urges everyone to act according to their abilities and not foolishly risk their lives for a higher score. Listening to the commander, Xu Jingming reflects on his own abilities. Before his power-up, he would have been limited to the outer area, but now, filled with power and ambition, he is determined to charge deep into the inner circle, and perhaps even challenge the core area. An announcement is made for students to get their exam supplies. Xu Jingming and his friend approach their teacher, Chen Fan, who is handing out tactical backpacks. Xu Jingming receives his pack, which contains a smartwatch for tracking points, a backpack with energy bars, a drink, and a medical kit, and a safety ball that can create a high-voltage grid to ward off beasts. As teacher Chen Fan hands Xu Jingming his supplies, he offers one last piece of advice. He reminds Xu Jingming that his life is more important than anything, even if using the safety ball ends the exam early. Xu Jingming respectfully thanks his teacher. Just then, a familiar voice calls his name. He turns to see his classmate, Lin Qingli, running towards him. She kindly offers him a spot on her team. With her is their class president, Liu Qin, a C-class user who says he will protect Xu Jingming in the exam hall. However, another student objects, arguing that the exam is a serious competition. He complains that taking on an E-rank student like Xu Jingming will hurt their chances of getting a high score. Another teammate angrily agrees, accusing Liu Qin of changing their plan. The two objectors make it clear they don't want to be saddled with a burden. The insults infuriate Xu Jingming's friend, Liu Ji, but Xu Jingming calmly holds him back. With a polite smile, Xu Jingming declines the offer. He tells Liu Qin and Lin Qingli that he appreciates their kindness, but plans to go in alone. A concerned Lin Qingli reluctantly accepts his decision, urging him to be careful. The student who had complained smirks and suggests they go find the powerful Huang Tian to team up with instead, letting out a mocking laugh as they walk away. Xu Jingming watches them go with a confident smirk of his own, thinking that he is more than capable of getting a high score by himself. An announcement rings out, declaring the official start of the exam. A fleet of drones swarms into the sky, ready to live broadcast the event. The massive gates open, and a flood of students charges into the ruined city, shouting their goals. Among the crowd are Tang Qi and her friends, a determined-looking girl with a large sword, and the top contender, Zhou Mingyang, who uses his wind ability to leap ahead of the pack. In contrast, Xu Jingming remains calm. He takes a single step, then breaks into a steady run, his spear in hand, thinking that the exam has finally arrived and he is ready. As he runs, he taps his smartwatch. A holographic screen confirms his identity and displays the real-time rankings. The top 3 spots are already filled, with Zhou Mingyang in first place with 7 points, followed by 2 other students. Xu Jingming looks at the leaderboard with a confident smirk. He notes that Zhou Mingyang has already started killing beasts, but the early lead only fuels his own competitive spirit. While others fight in the outer sections, Xu Jingming decides on a bolder strategy. He resolves to waste no time and head straight for the high-risk, high-reward core area. As he moves deeper into the ruined city, he suddenly stops. Ahead, he discovers a gruesome scene: the lifeless body of another student in a pool of blood. Beside the body is an unused green safety ball, showing how fast the attack must have been. Xu Jingming is disturbed by the sight. He realizes the student didn't even have a chance to activate his last defense. The grim reality of the exam hits him, and he understands the weight behind his teacher's and the commander's warnings. He thinks that if he hadn't received his S-class ability yesterday, he could have easily ended up in the same state. Steeling his resolve, he accepts the brutal nature of the exam. He kneels beside the fallen student and uses the boy's smartwatch to call for the body to be retrieved. He reflects that opportunities always come with risks. Suddenly, he hears a noise nearby. From the shadows of a ruined building, a large clawed paw silently appears. A moment later, a ferocious shadow cat with glowing purple eyes emerges. Xu Jingming instantly realizes the horrifying truth. The beasts had left the dead student as bait. It's a trap, and the beast lunges towards him. Despite the shadow cat's terrifying lunge, Xu Jingming remains perfectly calm. The beast growls menacingly as it pounces with incredible speed, its shadowy claws extended. But Xu Jingming is even faster. With a fluid, casual movement, he sidesteps the attack, letting the beast fly past him. The shadow cat lands gracefully, its glowing purple eyes locked on its prey. Its reputation is well earned. With an agile body, sharp claws, and a bite force of over 1,000 kilograms, it is a deserved newbie killer. It lets out a ferocious roar, trying to intimidate Xu Jingming. As he faces the beast, Xu Jingming thinks about what makes these creatures so dangerous. He knows fierce beasts have a special, terrifying aura that can paralyze their prey with fear. He's heard that most awakened people, when facing a fierce beast for the first time, become helpless under this pressure, unable to use even 30% of their strength as they wait to be killed. He thinks about how wealthy families hire bodyguards to take their children into the wilderness, to get them used to this aura from a young age, a privilege he never had. Knowing this is his first true battle against a fierce beast, he readies his spear as the shadow cat lunges at him again. The beast closes the distance instantly, its mouth wide open, but Xu Jingming stands his ground, completely unaffected. Arcs of purple lightning crackle along his spear as he channels his power. In a single, swift motion, he thrusts the spear forward, the lightning-infused tip piercing through the shadow cat's head and killing it instantly. He looks down at the dead creature with a thoughtful expression. He realizes the beast's intimidating aura had no effect on him. A moment later, A blue holographic window appears from his smartwatch, confirming the kill. Killed one unranked fierce beast, a shadow cat. Ability points, +3. A note explains that fierce beasts are ranked from 1 to 9, and those below rank 1 are unranked, corresponding to unranked human awakened people. Xu Jingming looks at the map of the venue on his watch. He considers that killing beasts grants him ability points, but he seems unimpressed by the small reward, thinking that unranked beasts give far too few points. Realizing he is unaffected by the intimidating aura of fierce beasts, Xu Jingming concludes there is little point wasting time in the outer area. He resolves to get to the more dangerous central area as quickly as possible. He begins his journey deeper into the exam venue, cutting a bloody path through the unranked beasts. He effortlessly kills shadow cats, iron-furred pigs, and wolf-like creatures, gaining a steady 3 to 5 ability points with each kill. However, he identifies a flaw in his approach. While he has gained ability points, he recognizes that he lacks actual combat experience. His new S-rank ability is so overwhelmingly powerful that it kills unranked beasts instantly, preventing him from honing his fighting skills. He also considers the high energy cost of his new power. He knows higher-ranked abilities consume more energy. Unlike his old E-rank ability that could last for hours, he can't maintain his S-rank power at full strength for even an hour. With the exam lasting 12 hours, he understands he cannot waste energy before reaching the core area. He decides on a new strategy. He will kill fierce beasts using only his spear technique to gain experience and conserve power. Just as he makes this decision, a new, much larger threat appears, a formidable bipedal unicorn rhinoceros. The massive beast roars and charges, tossing a wrecked car aside with its immense strength. Instead of retreating, Xu Jingming stands his ground and faces the charge head-on. The powerful impact of the rhino's horn sends him flying backward. With incredible agility, Xu Jingming uses the momentum to flip himself in midair, positioning himself directly above the beast. Before the rhino can react, he dives down, landing on its back and plunging his spear deep into its skull with a single, precise strike. The massive beast collapses, defeated. Breathing slightly, Xu Jingming is surprised by how much faster his killing speed has become, noting that even a powerful beast like the rhinoceros wasn't much of a challenge. A thought strikes him, and he wonders if his spear technique broke through to a higher level without him realizing it. He summons his system panel, which confirms his suspicion. His spear technique has leveled up to the intermediate stage, and his ability points have risen to 256. He concludes that relying on his spear technique is the most effective way to boost his strength. Feeling how fluid the intermediate technique is, he wonders what would happen if he improved it further. Using his accumulated points, he decides to upgrade his spear skill again. The effect is instant. A massive influx of advanced spear techniques and complex movements floods his mind, integrating into his muscle memory. He clutches his head, amazed by the sheer volume of skill he just acquired. With a wealth of new techniques, Xu Jingming feels a surge of confidence. Gripping his spear, he stands tall amidst the ruins with a predatory smile. He declares that he can't wait to find a first-rank, fierce beast to test his new skills on. At the same time, in another part of the outer area, Lin Qingli and her team are moving through the streets. Suddenly, Lin Qingli stops, puzzled. In the distance, she thought she saw a familiar silhouette. She voices her thought, saying she thinks she just saw Xu Jingming. One of her teammates dismisses the idea, asking if she's seeing things. He argues it couldn't be Xu Jingming, as it would be suicide for someone with his E-rank strength to be this deep into the exam zone. Lin Qingli is filled with doubt, but can't shake the feeling that she saw her classmate. She begins to worry about him. Her thoughts are interrupted when another teammate calls them over. The group rushes to find him standing before the massive, freshly killed corpse of the unicorn rhinoceros. They see that the blood on its wounds isn't dry, meaning it was killed just minutes ago. They examine the fatal injury, a clean, penetrating wound to the head made by a long-handled weapon. One of them exclaims that it's a spear wound. The pieces click together in Lin Qingli's mind. The spear wound, the timing, and the silhouette all point to one conclusion. She wonders aloud if the person she saw could really have been Xu Jingming. The skeptical teammate scoffs at the suggestion, arguing that a unicorn rhinoceros is a beast that only a C-rank awakened person could defeat alone. To settle the argument, another teammate suggests they check the score rankings. Without hesitation, Lin Qingli activates the leaderboard on her smartwatch. As the rankings appear, her eyes widen in shock. There, in 46th place with 256 points, is Xu Jingming, Zhangcheng Second High School. She exclaims that it really is him. Her teammates are speechless, their faces showing pure disbelief. They refuse to accept that the E-rank student they looked down on is now in the top 50, speculating it must be someone with the same name. They are left questioning everything, unable to comprehend the situation.